Action.
Woohoo! We are going to make raw goat milk kefir. This is a fermented goat milk, raw goat milk, and the reason why it's raw instead of pasteurized, so it has all its vitamins, which is incredible for your skin, especially vitamin A. And this is the kit I just ordered. We're going to talk about the strainer. They should always be plastic. You can't use any metal with this live organism because the metal gets in the taste, including a metal spoon. So here's the first part of the box kit. This is the little blanket for the bottles, bottles that we're going to put the kefir in and leave it out to keep them warm. And now I'm looking for the live organism, which are called kefir grains. I think this might be them. Here's the little sack to put over the bell jar so that it can breathe. And let's see. Here's the big jar for after we make it. Look at this. Let me see it. Nicely packed. Okay, here is the kefir, the live kefir in this package. And it comes with a certification. Oh, and it's cold. It's been kept cold, so it's alive. Because the only way you can kill it is by heating it. Here's a certification for it.
Wait. Okay.
Another bag. This was probably to keep it cold, but look, they were keeping it away from metal. What was that? They knew. All right, here it is. I'm going to put it in the plastic strainer because I'm going to rinse it with filtered water. Okay, here we go. And this is filtered water. Okay, I have the kefir grains strained in filtered water, distilled water, and this is raw goat milk. Raw organic goat milk. And all I'm going to do is drop the grains in it. This is the plastic lid I like, except the plastic lid comes off, the warm blanket goes on, and we're going to set the temperature in our apartment to 72 for the next 24 hours. All right, so we got the blanket on. That's going to help to keep it warm. The warmer the climate, the faster it ferments. And you're supposed to let the top breathe. So this company sent me these homemade little organic tops, which I'm going to put on it. I've washed it, so it's wet right now. Make sure it's super clean. And there you go. Now this doesn't need sunlight. It can go anywhere in the apartment or house. And 24 hours later, we are going to have kefir, and we're going to strain it in the strainer.
So those little things you put in there were alive?
Yes, they're live organisms.
So they have to activate first, though, right? It's going to take a little while?
I may have to make 2 batches if they need to,
They need to activate, come to life.
Because it was put in the mail for a couple days.
Right.
So it might work the first time perfectly, but we'll make 2 batches, and the second batch we'll drink. But maybe the first batch we won't drink, just to get it going. That's what they recommend.
Very exciting.
I know. This is our first homemade raw goat kefir. This is kefir that they sell in Whole Foods. I highly recommend it because if you do the research on this, they barely pasteurize it, meaning they run it through not such a hot process, which is called ultra-pasteurization, and that's too sterile. And this tastes amazing. So if you don't want to go to this process of making it from scratch, finding a farmer and doing raw goat milk, check this brand out. All right. Here is my raw goat milk. Now it has been sitting 24 hours. You always have to put it in fresh milk, your kefir grains, because they're alive. They need to drink the milk. And so you have to rinse them off and put them in fresh milk. You don't have to rinse them off. I like to rinse them off. Right now they've been sitting in the raw goat milk, and we're going to look at them for the first time 24 hours. You're going to use no metal. They don't like metal. They react negative to the metal. They pick it up and you can kind of taste it. We're going to strain the raw goat milk that's been sitting for 24 hours in the kefir grains that we ordered online. And I'm leaving the website below. Got it, David?
Yes.
All right, so now what we're doing is we're straining them to put the kefir grains back in a clean jar. And then we're going to add fresh goat milk, raw goat milk to it. Also, you want to make sure your milk supply is grass-fed, organic grass-fed, raw ideally. So David, can you come up with the camera so you can see the little grains here? Do not use a metal spoon, use a wood spoon. Can you come closer so you can see them in here? These are the healthy, live microbes. They look like thick cottage cheese. And in the bowl is the kefir that we're going to drink. And I'm also going to take these now and rinse them in the
Those are the critters?
Yeah, these
They're
are
inside there?
Yeah, do you see them?
Oh, they're microbes. I think they're really
beautiful.
small
They're
inside
gorgeous. They're growing. Since I've gotten them in the mail, they were tiny little. It's about 2 tablespoons per 2 cups of milk. That's what I've done. Now you can rinse the kefir grains, or you can put them right back into the jar and add the milk. Either one. When you first get them in the mail, you definitely want to rinse them in the little bag they come. Some people are saying that if you just put them directly from your kefir batch right into the jar without rinsing them, they thrive better. I don't know, I'm kind of used to rinsing my sprouts, so I have that same mentality of rinsing the grains. And then you put them in the jar, and you add your raw goat milk to this, and you put the lid on, and you wait 24 hours. So now I need more raw goat milk. So what do I do if I don't have raw goat milk right now, which I don't? I'm putting this plastic lid on because they don't like metal, and I'm putting them in the refrigerator until I get a hold of some raw goat milk. And it may need a couple tries to wake them up. So you might want to start with just 1 cup at a time, taste it the next day, 24 hours, and do it maybe 3 times until you get the taste and the thickness you want. And here we go. So we have our very first kefir, official kefir, homemade goat milk raw from scratch. David, come up here and try it and hand me the camera, I'll shoot you.
All right.
Wait, let me see where the sunlight is. It's really good there.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I am. What do you think?
All right.
How's it look?
It looks great.
Okay, now it's going to taste like yogurt, and then you're going to
Smells
have
good.
a few sips with honey in it. That's going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah. It's got a sweet and a tart taste to it. Because of the honey and the yogurt kefir mixed.
Do you like it when you get a sip of the honey?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you stir the honey, you have to put so much in to make it sweet. That's why I like to leave.
We waited too long. It's down there.
Yeah. Now, David, what's going to be interesting in 10 minutes, you're going to notice your head sort of feels like, you know how you take, if you have a cold and you take cold medicine, all of a sudden it clears up? It's really interesting. After you drink this, 10 minutes later, your head feels really clear and you start to feel optimistic. Great honey, huh? That's raw honey.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's great.
Kefir. The word comes from the mountains above Turkey, and it means well-being. And what it basically is fermented milk or water, depending on if you're a vegan. You can get kefir grains that are clear, and those are for vegans. You can put them in coconut water, or you get the regular milk kefir grains. They can be put in almond milk too, and they can put in goat milk, cow milk, sheep milk, and preferably you want it right from the farmer before it's pasteurized, because the pasteurization makes it very sterile. And you want this really great, full of enzymes and vitamins and rich kefir. It's so exciting because of the cures of it. For example, it's similar tasting to yogurt. And a cup of yogurt versus a cup of kefir is, say, 1 trillion good bacteria versus 30 to 40 trillion in kefir. Kefir also repopulates in your intestines. And it stabilizes your intestines, brings it back, it cures leaky gut, all kinds of intestine diseases. It even works on their thinking cancer. It's been studied for 100 years, and it's a probiotic. We have good bacteria and bad bacteria in us. Basically, 90% of our entire bodies are made of of bacteria, 10% human parts, like, bones. So this bacteria, having it balanced and having it good is all about the kefir, the huge following. There are Yahoo groups that write every day about it. The milk kefir is the one I love because I want the calcium.